What's up, my friends? So, a couple of months ago, I released a video on my Patreon. By the way, join my Patreon if you want exclusive content about the Messi market, basically a complete guide. And my original idea was actually to make a different video for YouTube, but I've been lacking time, so I'm going to leave here what I did for Patreon a couple of months ago. If you end up enjoying the content, consider to subscribe, consider to leave a like. It's always the best way to show support. Also, check the links on the description. If you want to support me, take a look at this QR code. You go to the best auctions on PWCC, and that's it, my friends. Let's go into the video. What's up, Patreon? Today I bring something different, a complete guide if you want to collect Lionel Messi. Last week I said I will do something different for today's Q&A, and this is not a Q&A as you can see, but I believe it's something that you guys will find a lot of value. If in the end up enjoying this one, consider to leave a like, really means a lot to me. I end up putting hours and hours and hours to do this presentation, and I really hope you guys find value, and the best way to tell me is, like I said, leaving a like. Another thing, this will be the content I will put in a PDF for a format in the future, basically a book, but right now I'm showing you in a presentation way, in a video. But the idea will be to put this in something that everyone can access in the future. Let's start with this, yeah, let's go. Disclaimer, no financial advice, my opinions can be wrong, do your own research and draw your own conclusions. The information shared here is just that, information. All this information and more can be found on my YouTube channel and also, of course, on my Patreon. We will update this information from time to time. For now, it's up to date until October 25, so have that in mind. Now, reference and notes, the pop reports are based only on the PSA company. For a more comprehensive analysis, it's advisable to also check the other major grading companies, especially BGS and SEC, but if you want to do even extended research, take a look at all the other grading companies you can think about. End up using a bunch of different websites, GemRate, PSA Card, 130 Point, eBay Terapeak, and more. I leave the links here if you guys want to check them out. But let's start with this, Messi rookies 2004-2005. You guys are probably aware, I already did a video about the Messi market, specific the Messi rookie market, and I believe it's still quite a good video. That said, I thought doing an update on this front made sense, and the pop reports you guys are seeing on the screen are actually, like I said, up to date October 25. We can see that the top sale from the three main Messi rookies, in my perspective, is still the Mega Cracks by a long margin, 336k. After that, we have the ST sticker, 120k, and in the middle, but in this case in last, in the middle, just on the screen, we have Mundichrome 57k. You also can see, and this is why I'm saying this is a complete guide, I'm putting a lot of information right there. You can see the pack, you can see the sealed box for the product. In this case, you can even see the album for the ST sticker. One note that you guys know, I'm aware, but it's important to put out there is Messi have 7 rookies plus the variations, but the ST sticker is the only sticker. So I believe it's important to have that in consideration. A fun fact, and you guys should take a look at all the things I leave in the bottom. Like I said, I will give you this in a PDF format if you guys want to spend more time looking at the screen and taking your own conclusions. But the fun fact is, for a long time, the PSA 10 pop for Messi Everon Biz was 20. Right now, and the reason is actually unknown, is only 19. If I had to guess, probably a fake, probably an overgraded one, potentially more even in the side of the overgraded one. I believe these are the 3 most important rookies for Lionel Messi, and the market also tends to agree with me. Nevertheless, the Messi 7 on Biz is clear the king card. The Este is the only rookie sticker, like I was explaining. Something that I believe this is the type of video you guys probably will want to pause. But take a look, gem rate 3% for the 7 on Biz, 4% for the 4% for the Mundichrome, and 6% for the ST sticker. Another note that you guys have to have in consideration is for now seems like that PSA is not grading the ST sticker due to the fake situation going around. Now let's talk about lineage. So I was sharing with you those are the 3 most important rookie cards for Messi. I believe that can be debatable, but that's my perspective. But let's start with lineage on Mundicromo. Mundicromo that appearing in 94 it was very innovative at the time, and actually the creator Joaquim Solano Mireto had this inspiration came from baseball cards. He basically thought that in America, you guys, because I have a lot of Americans, did a great job, and he actually wanted to import that to Spain. That's why Mundicromo is a very important brand in pre-modern. ST Sticker for a long time was actually the most important, let's say, sub-brand of Panini in Spain, and Panini Mega Cracks always did very well. A fun fact is that 2004 was the first set in Spain where Mega Cracks had its exclusivity. It used to be just an insert in another Panini product. It remains a popular product in Spain to this day, similar to Colecciones ST. Now let's move on to the Messi Rookies Part 2, and in this case we have what? We have the Mega Cracks cards Campeón or Campione. If you never understood how to actually tell the difference between the variation between Campeón and Campione, there is a couple of ways, but the easiest way is actually take a look at the logo. You can see this one says Campione, and this means Spanish, and this one says Campio, and this means Catalan. Very easy, just take a look at the left top of the card and you guys will right away tell the difference. Supposedly the rarity of the 3 cards should be the same, now just focus could be Campione or Campione. However, the card 89 seems to be more common to me. There isn't a clear explanation, but could be due to being easier to grade, in the sense that even if you have a card with problems, if this card is all white around, you probably find difficult to see problems. In the other ones become a bit more evident. This is a random theory, to be honest. I don't have a solid argument to say this is for sure, but at least is again, he's trying to make some sense in the reason why the white card, the 89, tends to be a bit more graded, because you can see is actually a huge difference. Those are talking about the Spanish version around 500 and this is over 1k, so quite a big difference. The blue card, the 35 sold, the top sale ever was 50k, the other one was 32k, actually is a bit more rare when it comes to Campeón, is a bit more rare than the others, but we'll take a look at that in a second. And for the white version was 29k. Again, this is the common one. In terms of gem rate, for the Spanish version, the 35, the blue one, the headshot, is only 10%, the other 15%, and the white, even in this case, also end up winning with 16% gem rate. Like I said, seems to be a bit easier to grade, even PSA probably finds more difficult to find problems on this card. I also want to share a couple of things that a lot of people are not aware. If you guys follow me for a long time, you guys probably are aware. But the reason the Catalan version seems to be a bit more rare is, first of all, was just released for the Barcelona region, Catalonia. And the Spanish version for a long time was actually appearing on eBay from sellers from Mexico, Chile, Peru. And there was a lot of speculation about this at the time. I was talking with Panini at one point. They said no chance they end up releasing this in Mexico, but I talked with amazing and big collectors in Mexico and they said yes, this was released there. Again, a very speculative field, as you can imagine, but I think this information is gold and I hope you guys also find it important, because you guys don't find this type of information everywhere apart from my channel. I don't want to be rude, but this is the reality. Now, taking a look at the Campeón version, Catalan, you can see the numbers are quite lower, even though they are getting up there, but they are still quite lower comparing with the Spanish version. But one thing that is
even more evident is actually the gem rate. And this goes with my theory, by the way, because when the market was exploding, we saw sealed product appearing on eBay in Mexico, in Chile, but always the Spanish version. What you see is that, yes, the gem rate is still low, by the way, but is much higher. Compare this, 4% versus 10%. This is a big difference. Look at this one. This is one of the most difficult Messi rookies to find in the world. In the PSA 10 is 2%. This is quite crazy. And if we take a look at the white version, 7%, also quite different than 16%. So I find all of this stuff quite amazing. I'm not sure if you guys find this boring or not, but I love to share this type of stuff because this is information I have been accumulating for so many years. Let's move on and let's continue with the Messi rookies, and we have other rookie that I would say is quite popular, or at least is getting more popular nowadays. At one point so this is ironic because I said he's quite popular, but at one point I used to call this rookie the forgotten Messi rookie. Right now I don't think it's the case anymore. The top sale, so there is two variations, very important, a foil one and a non-foil. Right now the pop indicates that the foil is a bit more common. This is not my experience. I actually believe the non-foil is a bit more common, but they should be similar at the end of the day. This set, and this is another fun fact, was later released, in this case was already in 2005, but still part of the season 2004-2005. Very important detail. But this was a more premium type of set, meaning it was more geared toward collectors. So in terms of rarity, this card should be quite more difficult to find than the other Mundicromo, even though we have to wait and see in this type of with this type of stuff, we are all speculating a lot, as you guys can imagine. But again, we can have an educated guess, and that's the best we can do. So the top sale for the foil was 6K, and the top sale for the non-foil was 4.5K. This card is actually down a good amount right now. I was looking at PSA 9s for the foil, and at one point ended up going quite crazy. Right now, you can find one for 2K, and is quite a difficult card to find in a PSA 9. So what is the rarest Messi rookie? Is actually this one, the foil Mundicromo Top Liga. You can see PSA 10 total, just one, and never appeared on the market. Even the non-foil is just pop 2, so also crazy difficult. You guys may be asking, why is this card so difficult to grade? Well, starting with the foil, but you can apply the same logic for the non-foil. This black on the card tends to always have some type of widening, at least my experience. Centering tends to not be good. This is a problem all across Mundicromo. And when it comes to the foil, sometimes you even have scratches there or other types of problems related with the foiling. So very difficult card to grade. You can see the pack right there. You can see the sealed box. Not in this case, it's not sealed, but the box. And you can see the album. Another important fact is there is also, but this logic goes for the other two. For the others, instead of the from the Mega Cracks Barça Campeão, Sergio Ramos also had the rookie also have his rookie season in 2004. That's why him and Messi share so many sets. But yeah, another narrative that I can see this card getting in the future, and will be true, to be honest, is that this is the first this is the first foil slash, it's not exactly a refractor, but it's the first foil slash premium card ever made for Messi. Well, in the other hand, some people may not like it. Why? Because there is 4 players on the card, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and just Messi is relevant. Now, moving on. Well, not a rookie. Surprise. I'm talking about 2004. No, this is, right now PSI says it's 2006. I even have doubts about that. But on the screen you are seeing a 2004 UK traditions. When I started collecting soccer or engaging more with the market later 2019, early 2020, this card was accepted as a rookie. And I remember seeing strong sales for this card. Unfortunately, and we have to talk about this, Several grading companies made this mistake, labeling this card as a Messi rookie, in this case 2004. It isn't. Currently, PSA listed as 2006. Although information is very scarce, I believe this card may not even be from 2006, and the company that created it seems a bit shady and most likely without any type of license. This is the kind of card I would not put $1, I stay away. This is very, very dangerous. Unfortunately, some content creators promoted this card as a rookie, Gary Vee being one example. In the photo, we can see that Gary Vee promoting the card. It remains a meme in the community to this day, the best rookie, and people tend to share the photo of the UK traditions because he's not a rookie. Give me a second. So I'm sorry for that. Let's move on. Now, second season, and I think actually instead this is a long video, so I have to go a bit faster. But so what you guys are seeing on the screen, I want to make this clear. This will be a book. All of you guys will have access to this free, and I think this is an amazing information. I understand this type of videos. There is so many information on the screen that you want to pause and actually extract all the info, but like I said, this will be a PDF, and actually I will release this to you guys on Patreon first, so feel free to share information with me. Feel free to tell me, I don't think this should be this way or that way, I think you end up forgetting this, because I can still edit this type of stuff. That said, Messi rookies, I think those three are the most popular ones. The Mega Cracks and the SS sticker end up being released in 2004. Mundichrome was early 2005. The others, there is no doubt on it being 2005. Same goes even for this one, also 2005, but still part of the rookie year, 2004, 2005. Now, the rookie season, I'm sorry. Now, what I think about the Messi market, I'm still a big believer. I think right now is the perfect time to focus in condition rarity. If you have a PSA 7, try to upgrade to a PSA 9. If you have a PSA 9, maybe you can go to the next level and have a PSA 10. But right now, focus on condition rarity. If I had to go for true rarity, I don't think either Messi rookie have that, but probably I would focus more on the ST sticker. And I also like this one, to be honest, specifically because the pop is still fairly low. PSA 8s, PSA 9s, BGS 8, BGS 9s, I think they are fairly difficult to find. Is a difficult card to grade. If you want to focus on those, because they are beautiful cards, to be fair, I would go for the Campion version, Catalan, and focus in condition rarity, because as you can see, condition rarity tends to be quite strong on the Catalan version. Now, Messi second season, 2005-2006, and this is, so the other day, not the other day, well, actually the other day also, but I got a lot of questions related, should I buy Messi rookie, should I buy Messi with Argentina? And sometimes I think like people forget second year cards for Messi, because I still think this is a market that can be explored more, and a lot of this stuff is quite cheap nowadays. By the way, the King card is again the Mega Cracks, and this is a 7-on bis card. People tend to forget about this, so there is actually 2 7-bis for Lionel Messi. Bis means what? No, nueva ficha. Basically, the translation is not perfect, but new player, a new acquisition for the team. And the Mega Cracks total is 208, and the PSA 10 total is just 2, so the gem rate is 1%, quite crazy. To be fair, I believe we never saw one appear in the market. I could be wrong on this one, but I was doing my research and I never saw one. Now moving on to the Mundichrome, the top sale was 12k, and this was insane, to be honest. Actually did a video at the time saying that the person that paid 12k for a PSA 10 Mundichrome second year will regret that long run. At the time, I believe was Pop 1 or Pop 2. Right now is already Pop 7 and will keep increasing, because this card, even though we have condition rarity, as you can see the gem rate is 7% right now, is still one of the most easy Messi second year cards to find. It's a beautiful card, by the way. I actually think it's one of the best photos, but the 12k, don't take that sale in great consideration, because that's the type of sale that we may never get there again. So for example, the top sale for this one was 4.1k, and I think this is quite more realistic if we see a PSA 10 can actually do very, very big numbers. For this one, the ST sticker second year, this is an interesting sale, 11.4k, and was actually the PSA 10 that there is on the market, and this card is Pop 1. So this is very similar to the Top Liga Mundicromo foil rookie for Messi. The Pop is actually also very similar, and there is only one in the market, makes the gem rate 0.5%, but someone had to pay more than 10k for a second year Messi. Do I think this long run can actually perform well? It really depends if more 10s will appear or not. If this pop total goes, let's say 7, 10, eventually 20, things can get a bit more difficult to make this price actually to make sense of this price, better saying. But there is a scenario right now, the gem rate is quite low. Although the Mega Cracks has the lowest sale value, this is due to the fact that the PSA never been sold. Fun fact, the Mega Cracks 2005 for Messi is also a 7-1-bis card. In terms of condition rarity, those three are incredible. Look, comparing with rookies, this is actually quite impressive. Specific, again, the Mega Cracks and the ST sticker, but even 7% for the Mundicromo is, I would say, is quite good. Now, lineage, rookies versus second year. Let's try to actually check the lineage of the second year cards, or make comparisons that are, I believe, quite fair. Well, for the Mega Crack 7-1-bis, we have another 7-1-bis, so it's quite easy. For the Mundicromo, we have another Mundicromo. For the Top Liga, we actually have another Top Liga, and there is also a foil version and a non-foil version, so very interesting stuff. For the ST sticker, we also have another ST sticker, but for this one, the Barça Campeón, we don't have another Barça Campeón. Well, you are correct, but we have a set with the name Super Barça that I think fits this narrative, or in terms of lineage is what makes the most sense. It's just an opinion, but I believe the second year cards with the real long term will be Mundicromo, Mega Cracks and ST. Now, of course, condition rarity can make a specific card go crazy. Lineage is important, and more collectors are realizing this. At the top of the market, the Super Barça cards PSA 10s sold for a lot. I believe people overpaid a good bit. Why? Because that set is huge, and I also believe is a bit common. Actually goes in the logic that the Barça Campeón rookies are a bit more common than the others, and I think there is some good information to believe that. Now, there is a lot of second year cards, as you can imagine at this point, much more than rookies, but you can see some top sales for cards that I thought ended up being quite relevant. This with Ronaldinho 2.2k, this one 1.5k, the Ballon d'Or 2k, and this tends to be the card that people tend to like the most on the Barca, not the Ballon d'Or, in this case is a Ballon d'Or, but is for the Golden Boy. 2k, 3.3k, 2k, 5k for this one, quite impressive. But basically, this is the type of set that if you can find those cards raw, amazing. If they are in good condition, amazing. Try to grade it. Try to get the 9, or if you are really likely, the 10, and you probably make money there. Buying them as a 10, I think, is quite risky. In the second year, we also have WCCF cards that I think are nice budget options. A top sale was $500 for a PSA 9 WCCF Lionel Messi, the foil one. The black version tends to be quite more common than the foil version. Something that I believe is also very important to know, that a lot of people may not be aware. So the cards you guys are seeing on the screen, when you look at the back, they have letters. They are basically in Japanese. But there is a rarer version going around in Italy, Italian, and English. I never saw the Italian version, so I'm not sure if this is a myth or not at this point. Some collectors tell me this is a thing for sure, but I saw the English version, and that seems to be a difficult one to find. Should this go for a lot or not? That's up to debate, but the rarity could be there. Another second-year card that I like quite a lot is this Mundi Cromo. Again, the top league, in this case 2006, that represents season 2005-2006. And I love this card. Top sale was 2K, and this is a beautiful card. There is also a foil and a non-foil version. This card, the Champions League sticker, at one point sold for 2.8K in a PSA 10 condition. This is one of the this is one of the easiest second-year cards you can find for Lionel Messi. I think the person that paid 2.8K for this Messi will regret quite a lot. We also have Derby Total. This was basically a fun game from Panini, and we have a Messi there. In my perspective, a easy Messi to find also. People tend to not like cards related with games, similar to the LCZF, so have that in consideration if you want to speculate on this one. Now, Messi with Argentina. So, we end up checking what? Messi rookies. I think we did a great job there. Messi second year. I think we also did a great job there. Like I said, pause the video because there is a lot of information on the screens. But now we have to talk about Messi with Argentina. This is one of the areas that at one point ended up going quite crazy. We can see that we have two major cards in 2006, at least my perspective. The first is the Panini sticker. The top sale for this one was 7.8K for a PSA 10, and the top sale for the Panini trading card was 30K. Right now, both cards are down quite a lot. But in terms of narrative going around in 2006, I think the King card is, again, the trading of the official licensed trading card Panini that you are seeing on the screen. Taking a look at pop reports quite fast, you can see 1.5K for the sticker, 95 PSA 10, gem rate 6%. I ended up talking about this card a couple of times on my Patreon community, on my YouTube channel, that I don't think you should invest on this card. Actually, if you want to buy this card, buy a raw copy for $10, $5. I have no idea about the price, because it's something iconic for Messi. I can recognize that, but I don't think is that great to invest. This is the type of card that my friends they have at their house and they have no idea. The production for World Cup sets specific in 2006 was quite crazy. Be very careful. This PSA 10 total right now is 95, but this could be, and you guys may not believe it, but I'm telling you, if the market keeps growing, this could be 500, quite easy. And the pop total could be 5K, 10K, also quite easy. So even if the gem rate is fairly low, 6%, this is a very difficult, actually very easy sticker to find, not difficult. Talking about the card, the pop total is 1.3K, PSA 10 total is 111, and the gem rate 8%. So I also don't think this card is that difficult to find. I think it's a beautiful card, but long run, I would be surprised if the pop for the card will be higher than the pop for the sticker, because I believe the card is quite more difficult to find. The sticker is really common. Trust me, I know the pop right now is already showing that, to be honest, but this will be quite more evident in the future. For a while, the initial cards featuring Argentina had a rookie vibe among collectors. Some even referred them as rookies. That's not the case anymore. However, they remain significant, especially after Messi won the World Cup. So that's also something to have in consideration. Another thing that I also want to say is the 2006 set for the card is one of the sets that I see more collectors going around. So that also makes this card special. Not only that, but is a nice extra. Now, Messi with Argentina 2006 is not in there by any means. There is a lot of stuff. And let's start with a card that I think is also fairly popular, a Panini Goal. I'm not sure if I did correct the name right there, but this is also 2006. One thing that a lot of people may not be aware is there is two versions. The normal Italian version that was released in the entire Europe, but we also have a Brazilian version with round corners. So how can you spot them? Again, very easy. Round corners means Brazil. In the back, by the way, they also say made in Brazil. The others say if I'm talking from the top of my head, but I believe it's correct. They say made in Italy. And let's compare the pop report. So the pop report is actually 200 for, let's say, the international version. PSA 10 total 6, gem rate 3%. Quite very, very low gem rate. Those cards in end, they actually look quite nice. In photos, I always think they look bad, but in end, the first time I bought a couple of them, I was really, really impressed. But let's take a look at the Brazilian version. PSA total is 29, but the PSA 10 total is 0. So gem rate, of course, also 0%. Seems like at this point that the Brazilian version, and makes some sense to be honest, is quite more difficult to find than the Panini Gold, and I will also pay attention to the gem rate in the future to see if a PSA 10 1 or 2 will appear, because if that's not the case, maybe the chase for a PSA 10 could actually be something that a lot of you guys may be interested in. Now, moving on to Maryland, England 2006, the PSA total is 37 and the PSA 10 total is actually 5. The gem rate is 13%. Going back actually to the gold card, the top sale was 3.3K. For the Merlin sticker was 4.1K. This sale was completely bananas. Why this card is even unlicensed? So Merlin have actually rights for what? For the English team, but in this case for England, but they never had right for the other teams. That's why you don't see logos for the other teams apart from England. 4.1K. That's a lot of money. Who knows in the future, but I would not be super confident about that one. Now moving on to the Candy Panini World Cup sticker. This one, the Cristiano Ronaldo card is quite more popular than the Messi one. Why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo is in a panel with David Beckham and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, so two players that are also super relevant. Of course, Cristiano Ronaldo also being one of the GOATs, but Lionel Messi did not have the same likely. His panel is quite weaker. That said, the top sale was 2K, the PSA total is 408, and the PSA 10 total is 40. This makes the gem rate exactly 10%. I would say one thing, I believe a lot of people end up hyping those stickers at one point in time in the market. Never made sense to see certain prices, and sometimes you even see entire collections getting sold on eBay, so I would stay away. Same logic goes for the mini sticker Panini World Cup. At one point you could actually buy the entire set also in Panini and in eBay. There was a lot of sellers also selling there. The top sale is 1.5K. In this case, the panel is with Luca Toni, a good player, I would say. PSA total 51, PSA 10 total 5, gem rate also 5%. From all of the cards you are seeing on the screen, the one I tend to like the most is for sure the gold card. The others, I'm not the biggest fan. Actually, I had several facts. Let's see what I said. The Merlin set, despite not having a lice, okay, actually I already talked about this. Both Mini and the Candy are mini stickers, but the Candy, well, it came with Candy, that's true. And the Mini collection could be purchased walletons in a box, also true. Of course, if I put that, is true. Now, Messi Argentina 2006. We also have the Navarrete stickers. As you can see, there is two versions, the set shot and the action shot. The action shot is part of the Edizione Extraordinaria, and this seems basically an update set, quite more rare. From what I know, again, this was a later update. I would say one thing, be careful with Navarrete. Why? Well, even if I think this is a bit more rare, in reality Navarrete was like Panini for South America, so there is a good chance a lot of this stuff can still appear. That's why I'm saying be careful. But looking at pop reports, this one, the headshot, PSA total is 59 and the PSA 10 total is actually 0, so gem rate also 0. The other one, the Edizione Extraordinaria, PSA total is 4. This is quite low, and to be fair, this sticker I always Again, you can find it, but I always find tricky to find one specific in good condition. I always find this sticker a bit difficult. But the PSA 10 is 0. The gem rate, of course, is also 0. So quite impressive with the numbers on this one. But we are not done. We also have match Attax. And this is an amazing fun fact. First of all, is also unlicensed. Why? Because at the time, Topps had no rights for the World Cup, but they had rights for what? For England, similar to the Merlin situation that was also Merlin was also owned by Topps, if you guys are not aware. But again, this is an interesting card for one reason. This is actually, from what I know, the first Topps match Attax ever. And Messi ended up appearing there. He's also first year with Argentina. So I kind of like that, to be fair. But the sets you're seeing on the screen, they are all unlicensed when it comes to Argentina. The PSA total for the match Attax is 43, and the PSA 10 total is 5, gem rate 12%. This is a card that some people may not like the look. I actually kind of like it. Now, we are not done when it comes to pre-modern. We also have to talk about Mega Cracks lineage, and this goes from 2004 until 2021. This is the last year Messi played the season that Messi played at Barcelona. I know we are going a bit into modern. Of course, as you can imagine, I prefer the earliest Mega Cracks instead of the recent ones, but I thought putting all on the screen made some sense. Mega Cracks is without a doubt one of the most important sets for Messi collectors. Each case will be unique, but in general, it tends to be difficult to have PSA 10s. It becomes easier in the more recent years. I believe that over time there will be more collectors looking for the top grades and trying to put the entire set in the entire set, in the sense that the first card for Messi and the last card for Messi in Mega Cracks in playing years, of course. Now let's take a quick look when it comes to pop reports. You can see that the Mega Cracks 7 on Bs 2004 is the most graded one for logic reasons, that there is also a lot of people trying to crack and get a better grade, so the pop also increases more there. But you can see after that, still fairly low pop, most of the cards, 200, 100, 100, 80, 79, 32, 33. One that I tend to like quite a lot is the 2009. This was the first year that Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo started playing together in La Liga. I don't think the market cares about, but I think it's something that I personally care, since I enjoyed so much that era, and the card also looks quite beautiful. But look at this, 32, 33, 26, 16, 17. One thing that I thought was quite interesting is actually the recent ones, the 2019 and the 2020. They are actually higher pop than most of the other ones, specifically because you could buy them at the Panini website and they end up appearing on eBay quite a lot. But I think this is something that if you are a Messi collector, look, if you can find those cards raw, and if you get 10s, specific going till, let's say, 2015, 16, and if your idea is actually to make money, to invest in cards that you believe more, I think those cards are amazing flips, but you have to know what you are doing on the market, not talking about the first 2 years, because those will be much more difficult. Now, we are also not done with Mega Cracks. Now I also want to talk about Mega Cracks inserts, specific from 2006, the first Mega Cracks inserts for Lionel Messi until 2021. I have an entire video about this, so check my YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys are probably already aware of that video. If you are not aware, go to my YouTube channel and take a look at that, because I will go even more in depth than I would go right now, since I have other sets to cover. But looking at pop reports, I was very, very impressed with the numbers. I mean, again, I'm just checking PSA. Like I said, take a look at SEC and BGS. But the 2006 card is the one that have the biggest pop. It's also a earlier card for Messi, 125. It tends to be a difficult card to get in a PSA 10, and this is the first insert for Lionel Messi with Mega Cracks. After that, 87, 76. This card people tend to like quite a lot, is the orange Messi, is an acetate card, 79, 59, 38, 22, 27, 30. I mean, fairly low. Let's all be real. The one that people tend to like the most from all the ones you are seeing on the screen, talking from my experience as a collector, is this one, the Ballon d'Or. Another fun fact, if you guys are not aware, this card was not actually found in packs. You actually had to buy the entry kit for that year of Mega Cracks, and you automatically got that card and also a Cristiano Ronaldo Ballon d'Or card. Let's move on. Very, very beautiful cards. I like to chase those cards more than the base cards for Mega Cracks. Why? Because they have a premium look, they are foil cards most of the time, or they have something different about them, and for me as a collector that means a lot. Now, the Messi first autos, and we have to go to Icons 2014. Well, this is a modern card, Andre. Well, not really. I mean, if we go by, again, it looks like a modern card and you can make an argument it's a modern card. But right now we split the market between the 90s until 2014 as pre-modern. So 2014 still is the last year, but it still goes as pre-modern. One thing to have in consideration is that there is different versions for the Messi icons. You have a Spanish version and a UK version. Those cards, they have some condition rarity, but they are not that difficult to find. If you go to eBay UK, you find a lot of them there. Even in ebay.com, you'll find a lot of those there. But what about the cards with that are numbered? There is only numbered 1 of 1, by the way. But the numbered cards, the patch cards, the auto cards, those are actually the first autograph cards for Lionel Messi. Those are a Japanese version. And if you want to buy sealed product, they are quite difficult to find. And if you find them, you have to pay a huge premium. A lot of times, collectors pay a huge premium for the on-card autos. Makes a lot of sense, as you can imagine. This card is a beautiful one that sold recently on Goldin for 26k. I mean, the patch UNICEF, you don't get much better than this, and they also have a nice auto for Lionel Messi. This is not my market, I have to be honest. I don't have a lot of joy collecting this type of product. I prefer sets with great lineage, but a lot of people love it and I respect that. And this is an amazing set if you are a Messi collector. Just to recap, this is a one-card auto, this is a patch. You have match used and event used. Also, I have that. I also believe you have sticker autos. I end up forgetting to put a photo of one. And you have numbered cards. Basically, every card have a 1 of 1 version. This is a 1 of 1. You may not see it clear, but it says official Messi collection limited, and there is the 1 of 1 right there. Beautiful cards, not a set that I tend to collect. Now, other potential key Messi cards in pre-modern that even if they are not the most chased cards right now, I believe they have some potential for the future. And let's start with the one that have been gaining some moment recently, 2018 Panini Champions League. This card is one of the most beautiful cards you can find for Messi in, and trust me, this card shines a lot. Specific the gold on the Champions League trophy. PSA total is 13, top grade is actually a PSA 8, and I know the owner is my friend James, Cards FC. There is only one. Panini Champions League sets card seems very condition sensitive. Panini UCL 2018 had some strong sales recently, and I believe there is already a decent amount of collectors for them, because every time they appear on eBay, they are really difficult to win if they go for auction, for example. Again, you have more sets on this idea of Panini so basically Panini from 2007 until 2009, I believe 2010. Yeah, I believe 2010, they made the Panini Cards Champions League. Early that they started with the game. I have a video about this, by the way, on my channel. But the best set, and I think most collectors tend to agree, is actually the 2008, because there is a premium look on the cards and they seem to be difficult to find. We also have the first cards for Copa America. I'm not sure if this narrative will ever be strong or not, but I think those cards are interesting. Specific, the Navarrete card is a beautiful card. PSA total is 5. Top grade is actually a 9. There is only one copy and sold for 1.1k. I thought this was a very strong sale. By the way, the UCL card sold for $300 as a PSA 7. Now, the other card is a Panini sticker also for Copa America, 162. PSA total is 9 and the gem rate is 5.5%. Now, another card that I also want to introduce is Mundichrome inserts. I know there is a good amount of collectors actually chasing them, and they are really, really fun to chase. Mundichrome is an interesting brand, like I said, because they even did different parallels. For example, for this card you are seeing on the screen, you have the Jaspiado, is basically a type of parallel that is basically a shiny foil. You also have I forgot the name, but basically you have different parallels inside of the Mundichrome inserts, and they are fun to chase. The problem is sometimes we have no idea, is this more rare than the other, is the rarity all equal? This is something that I believe in 10 years, I know this is crazy to say, but I believe in let's say 5-10 years, we'll have a much better idea of what is rare or not in Mundichrome. This one, PSA total is 21, PSA 10 is just 1, so the gem rate is 4.7%, and the PSA 9 sold for 432 USD. Now, Futera. Well, there is a couple of Futera numbered cards for Messi, even earlier than this one, and they are probably the earliest numbered cards I know for Messi. They are the earliest cards I know for Messi with patches, even earlier than the icons. For example, this card is from 2011, is actually match worn, which I thought was quite interesting, is numbered out of 3050. By the way, Futera could be an entire video alone on this brand, but this one sold for 355 in a BGS 8. Well, let's be honest, Futera isn't for every collector. However, they had some of the first numbered cards and patch cards for Lionel Messi. Another card that I also think is fair to put in potential league cards for Messi is the 2010 Panini World Cup card. Is an easy card to find. PSA total is 352, PSA 10 total is 102, the gem rate is 29%, a decent gem rate. The top sale for this one in a PSA 10 was 6.8k. I think people will regret also that buy, but it's a beautiful card and is a card that if you are a Messi collector, having this in a 10 right now could actually be quite tempting, and there is also a good amount of collectors for the set. Now, let's start with Modern, and now we have to start with the first prism, because this is actually what starts Modern in soccer. The inserts are also quite special in this set, the net finders, the World Cup stars, and the matchups card. Cristiano Ronaldo, not that is important for this video, have one extra insert, and I'm talking about... Actually, I was thinking if Ronaldo have World Cup stars or not, but I think also have. So you have also a Capitan type of insert, but the grail card on this set is by far the base card, specific if we are talking about numbered cards for this one. This also out of 10 is the most expensive card ever sold for Messi, more than $500,000. The last PSA 9 sold for 93k. Like I said, there is only 10 in the world. One thing that sometimes people forget is there is actually a gold power out of 5 that is, again, twice as rare as this one, but sometimes the true gold tends to do even better than the power, I believe it's power gold, the name. Let's continue with this idea of out of 10s. I know they are very difficult to find, but I think it's fair to put them. We have the net finders that BGS 9.5 sold for 6k. The matchups card, the last BGS 8 sold for 24k. And the World Cup stars Lionel Messi insert. This case is not out of 10, is actually a green crystals, a parallel that also does very well. Out of 25, this sold for 2k in a PSA 8. 2014 Prism is an important milestone in our market, let's be real. There are various colors / different rarities, however, anything that is numbered tends to be very sought after, okay? For many, this is the most important, for many collectors, this is the most important Messi card with Argentina, and probably also the most important card in Modern. Some people may even say the most important card for Messi ever. I tend to disagree, but this is a tremendous card. Now, another important card in Modern, and I know I'm just talking about the sets that all of you guys are aware, but trust me, we have more to go. But let's talk about the Messi first Tops Chrome. Similar to Prism 2014, the inserts do well, but the main card is in a different level. So the main card is the one you are seeing on the screen. This case is the gold parallel. The gold in Tops is out of 50, in Panini tends to be out of 10. The equivalent for Tops would be the red, that tends to be out of 10, but in other sports the red actually tends to be out of 5, and even in soccer sometimes is out of 5. So always check the number of the serial number of the card on the back, because the Tops, Panini, they change this type of stuff all the time. So out of 50, the last PSA 10 card sold for 14.4k. We also have this insert that is quite popular, sold for 1.5k in a PSA 9. I thought this sale was a bit too strong, to be honest. This PSA 9 for the Lightning Strike sold for, let's say, $400. This one does not do as well as the other insert, but this sale I also believe is a bit unrealistic, to be fair. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but 1.5k, this is more around 700, 500, I think would be quite more fair. Just my 2 cents. If Prism was a milestone in our market, the same can be said for Tops Chrome, a bundle that later branched out into various new products. At the club level, for many, this is the best Messi card, specific in modern. So if Prism is the best Messi card with Argentina, you can, and there is a lot of people make an argument that this is also the best card for Barcelona, for Lionel Messi. Again, this is highly debatable, as you can imagine. I still prefer the Messi Everon Bs overall as the cards I'm showing to you right now, but you can see arguments. Those are very, very iconic sets. Top sales in both sets, if you guys are not aware, basically the top sale for the gold Prism was a PSA 10, was Pop 2 at the time, and is still Pop 2, was again $500,000. For the red, a bit lower, but also very strong, 90k. But one thing to have in consideration is this red, at the time the market was also similar to the Prism, but this red is not the normal red, is autograph red. So was PSA 10 of 10, so the auto and the card got a 10, is Pop 1, but a lot of collectors, and I tend to agree with this, tend to believe when this card sold, if the normal red ended up appearing in the market, this sale could be a bit stronger. But that said, 90k, a lot of money still. Now, there is sticker autos in both sets. You can see for Prism you have this one. It's a beautiful card, I like it. Some people make jokes about the Messi face there, but actually I think is a really nice card. You can see you also have Messi autos on Tops Chrome. You have for the insert, and you have for the base card. A brief note, both sets feature auto stickers. In the case of Prism, we don't know the print run, so be aware of this, at least I don't know. For Tops Chrome, we know that there are autos in the red, out of 10, and in the 1 of 1 as well, as in the base. The awards inserts also has autos. One thing that a lot of people may not be aware is if you look at the Cristiano Ronaldo Tops Chrome card, you find orange with autos. But this is not the case for Messi. At least I never saw one, and I believe... Again, I would bet money that that's the case. Only the reds are numbered, and also the base. But even the base tends to not appear that much. Now, fake autos. You guys thought we are done with modern. Not at all. And like I said, this video, let me see how long this video already is. Almost 1 hour. But my friends, it is what it is. Fake autos. So this is a controversial topic in the community. It's also a speculative topic at the end of the day. But a lot of people believe there is a lot of Messi fake autos going around. The rumor is that some family member ended up signing cards for Messi at one specific point in time. This rumor ended up gaining a lot of traction when an employee from Beckett mentioned the same topic on Twitter. From what I understand, the difference is in the opening of the first letter. So take a look at this, starting with I'm not sure what letter is this, to be honest, but you can see the circle right there is small, And when you take a look at, for example, the eminence cards, which as far as I'm aware, most of the autos there are fake, you can see is a big one. This also becomes evident in other sets. Nowadays, it's difficult to find in new product. It's difficult to find this type of auto, but at one point there was a lot of them. I believe Prism 2018 also have fake autos, for example. Panini Treble, the stickers, they also have fake autos. So again, be aware of that. Could I be wrong about this? Could we all be wrong about this? Yes, but even an employer from Beckett believes there is fakes going around. Moving on. Now, other top modern product for Lionel Messi. So I was talking about Prism and Chrome, and those are the two major sets we have in the market, specific because they release right now every year. The World Cup does not release every year, but there is Prism for La Liga, not for Champions League, for Premier League, and Top Scrum appears every year because of Champions League. But there is other amazing product in Modern, and Flawless and Noir are two sets that we have to talk about. I would also put Eminence there if the autos for Messi are real, but I don't think that's the case. By the way, take a look at the autos right there and compare with those ones. You can see the difference is quite evident. Those are two of the most beautiful cards I'm aware in the entire soccer card market, specific on card autos for Messi. When it comes to Flawless, people tend to like the Flawless finish the most, and in Noir there is a good amount of Messi autograph cards, but this one, the Spotlight Signatures, tends to be the one that people really go crazy. All of those cards, they could be very easy between 20k to 100k. This one, if I'm not mistaken, sold for over 50k recently on PWCC, and I know about private sales for this card that the numbers probably will scare you. The high-end market for Messi is complex but fascinating, highly influenced by Chinese demand. Not only Chinese, Asian demand in general, but specific Chinese. Certain cards are often highly sought after. Two sets in particular that tend to be super popular in Chinese: Flawless 2015 and Noir 2016, specifically inserts I'm talking about. There are variations within those sets, but the two examples I'm providing are the creme de la creme. So amazing stuff. Again, not my market, but like I said, this is a complete guide. I will mention everything that I think is relevant. And talking about relevant cards, let's talk about inserts, but in this case in Modern. So I was showing to you a couple of inserts in Top Scrum, a couple of inserts in Prism, but those inserts, even though they do well, they are not case hitters. But we have case hitters in soccer, and we have the Kaboom Panini and also the Landmarks Panini Prism. Those cards are beautiful, some of the coolest cards in the market if you ask me. I like the first year for, I believe there is no landmarks recently for Messi, but even if there is, I tend to like the first release. Take a look at the pop total for Kaboom, 78, PSA 10, 36. The landmarks is actually lower, which I was quite impressive, 51, and PSA total is 16. There is no numbered cards for the Kaboom, so this is the only version you have, but for the landmarks you have numbered cards. You actually have what? You have Mojo out of 25. This one I believe is actually only by 1 or 2 copies, and the top sale for this one was what? 15k. This is actually the top sale. The top sale in base was 5k. The gold power out of 5 never sold, and there is also one of 1 that sold for 14k, actually lower than the top sale for Mojo. The market was different, and this type of stuff tends to happen. I could add more inserts here, but I believe the first Kaboom and the first landmarks are the most popular and stabilized in our market. It's important to note that this market is highly speculative. So what inserts I would add into this if I was forced to do it? Probably I would put I'm actually forgetting the name, Color Blast, and I believe in Finest, insert that people tend to like quite a lot is Prized Football. So all of those sets, they could appear here. You could put even different parallels that are basically almost inserts. For example, Contra in Obsidian, but I think going with those two, since those are, you also have the On the Horizon, but those two are in a different level, so I think it made sense to go with those two. Now, the top 7 card sales in Modern, no duplicates. This is to give you an idea of what's going on in Modern as the top of the top, as the creme de la creme. Well, like I said, this is the most expensive Messi card ever sold, $500,000, impressive. We also have a 1-of-1 gold power in Prism 2021. For a long time, the narrative for Prism was quite strong. Right now it's a bit weaker. 200 and, let's say 200, a lot of money. This auto from Inception, which I believe is a sticker auto, so kind of blows my mind, over 100k. We also have a 1-of-1 sticker for Lionel Messi. There was a huge chase for this one. I actually think this price can actually be good in the long run for the buyer, because this sticker can actually become quite iconic. This was recently a 1-of-1 Haaland, Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo sticker auto, 134k. The Messi red top scrum, 90k. I would love to see a 1-of-1 or a true red appearing for top scrum, because I believe could be a strong sale. I know the market is different right now, but I still believe could be a strong sale. And Kaboom 2018 out of 10 sold for 84k. This is a crazy sale. I suspect right now would be for much less. I actually believe there was one for much less recently. No duplicates, by the way. Otherwise, I could have put, for example, another Prism right there. Now, we are again not done. Like I said, this is a long video, my friends. First year Modern sets. And I thought splitting between Ultra Modern and Modern. Modern goes from 2014 until 2018. The reason, and a lot of influencers are talking about this, and I also tend to agree, this is basically the golden era of modern soccer. Few products are available, and many of the sets are produced in limited quantities. Nowadays, take a look at Chrome, for example, the recent one. You have pink with bubbles, you have blue lava, gold lava. It's just a mess, let's be real. So that's why so many people like the early modern stuff. And we start with Prism with 2014. This is the first set. In 2015, we had Select. And I would say Select is one of the most important sets in general for soccer. We also have Flawless in 2015. Like I said, when it comes to high-end, this is a crucial set. We also had Done Russes 2015. This is a bit okay at best. Tops UCL, this is a paper card also. It was okay. Noir 2016, again, one of the best sets ever for soccer. This is not a new set because this is Select, but since those are so popular, I thought putting them there made sense. Basically are the first field levels for soccer. The one that is really popular, to be fair, is even the 17, the horizontal one that you are seeing on the screen. Again, not my thing in general, even though I think those are beautiful cards, but the hype is a bit too much for me. But again, some people may think the same of the sets I collect, and I think that's fair. Chrome 2017, like I said, with Prism, the two biggest sets. Immaculate 2017, amazing cards in this set actually, and I think if you like patch and autos together, this is one of the best sets for soccer. Nobility, this is actually an insert that I like quite a lot for the club. You also have the insert for the country. Amazing cards, very difficult to find actually. Revolution, in Revolution the cards that tend to do very well are the Galactic insert. Museum 2017, this does not do that well, let's be real. Optic 2018, Optic is a big deal in other brands, but I don't think in soccer does that well. Eminence, National Treasures, Finance 2018. Finance is similar to Optic, but Finance is a huge deal in other sports. In soccer, the first Finest card for Messi does okay, but I think there is some potential there. Again, I have one, full disclosure, just my 2 cents on that. And 2018 Treble, this is the one. A lot of you guys know Treble, but this set just was made one time, similar to Flawless, similar to Nobility. Revolution I don't think is the case, but basically there is a couple of sets here that they just appeared one time, and I think that's quite nice because less competition overall for them. Now, ultra modern sets. On this one, I would go a bit faster to be fair. And I'm putting the ones I tend to like, Obsidian, Chronicle, Sapphire. Well, first Sapphire a lot of times tends to be a big deal in other sports, but it's not the case in our market so far, even though there is some strong sales. Panini Gold Standard, Inception, Merlin. Merlin is one of the brands I believe the most in the long run. Again, my 2 cents. Mosaic 2020, Heritage 2020, and Top Scrum Stadium 2020. We are in a risky era talking about ultramodern, but the cards I'm sharing with you, I think all of them are quite nice and they have a chance. There is more sets, and I'm going with the ones that I think make sense. Do you like the content? Consider becoming a Patreon member. I know I'm recording this on the Patreon, so you guys are already a Patreon member, and I'll always thank you so much for the support. And to finish this is the kind of guide will never be complete. It's a work in progress. However, the good news is that you will always receive the updates in your email when I actually do changes to this one. Why I'm saying getting the update in your email? Like I said, this will be a PDF that I will leave on my website, basically a book that I will do changes over time, and I will send an email when I do changes. You cannot be part of my newsletter right now. I'm still working on that, but I thought doing this firsthand for Patreon members made a lot of sense. Guys, I had so much fun recording this. I also, you guys feel the same. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. By the way, this will not go for YouTube, this raw. I will probably put a video on YouTube to publicize the website, this PDF. Maybe I even do a video similar to this one. But this one is exclusive for Patreon members. I know sometimes I put stuff from Patreon on YouTube. Most of the stuff I don't put there. Normally I put 1 question or 2. This one will not be the case. It was a lot of work, and I'm not sure if this will be done in 1 week, 1 month, live to the public. I'm not sure about that. There is still some stuff I want to improve on the slides and I'm showing to you. But I thought sharing in firsthand was important, since at the end of the day, the Patreon community is what makes my channel possible, and I'm always very thankful. As you guys know, I know it's quite boring to keep repeating myself there, but I'm really thankful for all the support you guys leave here on the Patreon. Now, a couple of things not related with this anymore. I have, I would say, 2 podcasts in line. I don't want to share the guests for one reason. They are still not confirmed yet. One will be a big deal if that happens, but like I said, you guys on Patreon tend to know everything first, and will be the case if that happens. So do not be surprised if next week there is another early access to a new podcast, because I may have something in works. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.
And that's it for today, my friends. Hope you end up enjoying this video. If that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. And of course, take a look at the links I leave on the description and also in the comments. Discord server, more than 1,000 members there. So if you want to learn about the soccer card market, that's the best place. And of course, if you want to have exclusive content, take a look at my Patreon. The same way, I leave the link on the description and also in the comments. I will also try to put a QR code right there if you want to check my Patreon. And that's it, my friends. See you guys soon. Bye.